Wintertime is here. Hey everyone, so this is going to be a quick little video. I'm going to talk about how easy it is to take a road trip in a Tesla Model 3. In my opinion, they do a very good job of it. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the charging, the trip planner, kind of things you do beforehand. One of those being preconditioning the car. So right now, I just got into my car, I'm all packed up to where I'm going. Talk about the importance of why it's very crucial to precondition your battery is that I have very little regen braking and the battery's cold soaked, so it's just going to be less efficient overall. Preconditioning on shore power is a common term used, and it's essentially drawing the power from your charging source. Usually a level 2, a level 1 does not produce enough energy to do so. A level 2 or level 3 rapid charger drawing shore power to heat up the battery, charge the car, do all that stuff so that the car doesn't waste the greatest amount of energy, warming up the battery. That's key, and it helps in the long run for sure. So Teslas make it really easy to road trip in my opinion, and it has to do with the combination of available superchargers, their reliability, and their working with the trip planner. So, Teslas are not as good as gas cars at road tripping, but all you're doing is just spending more time at a charger. You're not, and in some of these cars, you're still driving a decent amount that you'll want to take a stop. So step one to all this is charging as much as you can at home. I don't have that luxury. We all know that. You want to charge as much as you can at home for two reasons, and one is, obviously getting the most amount of battery at the start. You want to hit 100% for a road trip, and then two, you want to precondition the car and make sure everything's warm and efficiently running. The battery's in top-notch warmth. All the drivetrain components are warm because everything mechanical, a car is mechanical, runs better when it's warm. So if you choose a level 3, for example, if I went to that rapid charger that is in a couple towns over from me, sat on that and stuff, what would it do? Well, it'd be quicker. If I didn't have the time, and say I was 60 at 70%, and I want to get a couple more percent, and I had the time, but not all the time to hit a level 2. So I could go there, and it'll fill up the battery, it'll precondition the car, it's adding a lot of energy in, so the car's and the battery's going to warm up naturally, and it'll be quick. Cons to that is, if it's not a free CHAdeMO charger, it's going to cost more money than just dumping onto level 2 and waiting a couple hours beforehand. That being said, if you use a CHAdeMO, because it's free, they're a lot slower, 50 kilowatts versus 150. So it's really a balancing game of how long do you want to wait, how much time you want to spend if you don't have access to our good old level 2 charger. So what's great about that? Well, it could be cheaper. If it's free or just at home, they're always cheaper than level 3 unless it's a free rapid charger. But again, rapid chargers can be slower if they're free. You can, put it on the charger and leave it. The battery will fill up. It'll warm up the battery. You can also precondition before you go so that, the car is nice and toasty, the battery's nice and toasty, and you're ready to go. Again, you want to start as high as you can, the highest percentage you can, battery preconditioned, drivetrain ready to go, and it'll just make your trip efficiency much better, and I'll show you why. I started preconditioning my car at home, not plugged in. First of all, the battery is cold soaked, and especially in the winter when it's really cold. You got nice 18 degrees right there. Here was my efficiency getting here. That's about 1.2 kilowatts per mile, and you look on my chart, bam, you can't even see it. You can't even see where my efficiency was. That's the battery heater, the heater, and coming from a very cold state, that's going to eat into your efficiency to start with. So yeah, I'm going to plug in my car and just juice it up a little bit while it, on a slow level 2 charger, just so it warms up the battery. I'm not too concerned about getting energy into it. There are superchargers along the way, but I want to get going with a warm battery. So let's do that quickly. Plus, I want to chat with you guys, so say for 20 minutes and stuff, because I keep talking to you guys while I'm waiting for this, and oh my god. There's a turkey over there. He was here last time I was here. So again, my goal right now is to just get rid of that cold-soaked battery. Kind of hard to see, but once that snowflake goes away, I'll be good to go. So some notes on driving. You know, you got your Tesla Model 3 long range like I do. It's about 300 plus EPA miles rated. Now, there's, you know, this whole thing that, yeah, electric cars don't go to the EPA range, just like gas cars don't always hit their MPG. If you're driving harder, driving, you know, using the city for a gas car, on the highway for an electric car, which stinks for road trips because highways are the way to go on road trips. But I digress. EPA range is rated for combined city and highway driving. It's not purely highway. So when you're taking a road trip, you're purely highway. More wind resistance in the air, higher speeds. It's just going to eat into your range. The Tesla has this, you know, has its trip computer. It'll keep in mind the efficiency as you're going on a trip. So it does it by 30-mile increments. So once you get on the highway and it starts going, it'll give you a very accurate estimate of, you know, your heating usage, your air conditioning usage, your range, your speed, and it'll give you accurate range readings. But again, that's not a worry. If you're taking one leg of a trip 300 miles, one to shoot 300 miles, you're an animal. I personally like to stop, you know, every 2.5 hours. Because it's just, you know, you're back and you got to go to the bathroom and you're hungry. It really, you know, that's, yeah, it's a road trip and you want to take care of yourself. So anyways, your battery is warmed up and it's full as you want on whatever source you want, level 2 or rapid charging. Everything is preconditioned, you're ready to go, you got your snacks. Now what do? So you use the trip planner. So the trip planner in the car is very straightforward. It's like any other navigation system. So, let's say I want to go to, I don't know, Hoboken, New Jersey. I think that's a little bit under the range of, yeah, perfect. So, what's it doing? I put in destination and it was finding superchargers for my trip. There we go. It'll give you supercharger in Manchester, Connecticut. You will arrive at 6 p.m. Now if I hit begin trip, but anyways. So you arrive there at 19%, spend 20 minutes there, and you'll arrive at Hoboken in 16% at 8:30. Total trip, 4 hours. Not too bad, okay? So now it's saying I'm going to spend 1 hour and 40 until that first supercharger stop. 107 miles. Yeah. So then when you go over here on a road trip, and you go to your trip computer, this line will change. It'll go, you know, above the predicted or below the predicted, depending on how efficient you're driving. So it's a really good indicator while you're going along. Am I driving too fast? Am I driving fine? And this is a very conservative system. It will not be too optimistic. It will be very conservative unless you're really gunning it. But even then, it'll let you know, hey, you're like really juicing along and stuff. And I've never doubted the trip computer. I've always been overestimated. Be like, wow, I got to my stop with 30%. Even though it said I would get there at like 20-ish%. So I'd rather be conservative just because why give ourselves anxiety? I can show you a multi-trip plan. So say if you're going to, I don't know, Florida in the USA. This might take a little bit. But it's going to find superchargers. Oh, there we go. Look at all those black dots. All those black dots along the line are supercharger stops and recommendations for time spent at each and time you'll get there. That's pretty cool. And I've never heard somebody drive a Tesla be like, I can't get there because it lied to me. Now, funny enough, I plugged in where I'm going. So I plugged in where I'm going from my current location, and it says I got there, and this is in Worcester, 47%. Doesn't even need me to go supercharging. There is one right there in Hudson, Mass. But even then, it says, yeah, you'll get back at about 22%. You know, I don't know about my charging situation when I get there, but I'd rather be safe and maybe I'll hit the supercharger up on the way. But yeah, just to show you, I mean, you can, it does the whole thinking for you. When you're on the road, make sure you enjoy your road trip too. You know, get a good music playing. I'm not playing music now because I don't want to get in trouble with copyright. But you know, use your autopilot, drive fast, drive slow, drive behind a truck like that. Get some nice drafting going. But yeah, use your, you know, energy consumption charts. You know, your big average consumption at over 30 miles. Your trip computer consumption that shows what you're going to arrive at and how efficient or inefficient you're being. There's a lot of tools available in this car, and it really makes a difference. So don't be afraid to take advantage of them, but also enjoy yourself and drive safe. Wow, it is very cold. Heading out from now, it's 13 degrees. My car has lost like 4 or 5% in being cold. So now I'm going to route myself to home and watch the magic happen, y'all. Oh my gosh, this camera's hold. So see, let's look at that. 14% it said to get back. So it's not going to recommend a super. Oh, hey, come on. Whatever, focus. It's not going to recommend a supercharger, but I'm going to go to one anyways. Hope. It is currently 11:30, 10 degrees out, and I am charging my car at work. Oh, yeah, so I got home, I skipped the supercharger on the way back, but I'm like, you know what, I want to try leaving this car overnight at work. So right now, I'm at 14%. I got home at around that. So long as it's going to take on my 6, it's not even, oh, it is pulling 6 kilowatt. So yeah, I'm not going to be sleeping for 13 hours, but it'll be cool to get some overnight. Got some time right there. There's it. 11:42, 10 degrees, New Hampshire. And yeah, this is gonna be great, guys. Now I gotta walk home. This is gonna be awful. But I'm bundled up and I'm ready to go. So everyone have a good night. And you too, Edie. You'll be safe at work. It's 24/7 building. Not a lot of people here at the night shift, but it's fine. Not too worried. So yeah, so good morning everyone. Yeah, the car, it's been charging. Here's charge point. Mission was a success. So yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna go brave the cold and pick up the car, and I'll have to try this more often. Yeah, so I hope everyone enjoyed this very short video. Pretty much the takeaway from this is Tesla does a great job of making you trust the car more so than just guessing how it's going to perform on long road trips, and it gives you a lot of tools like the in-car efficiency graphs and stuff to really feel comfortable where you're going. And honestly, my takeaway from it is know where you're coming from, you know, your ability to charge there, where you're going, your ability to charge there, and just awareness of superchargers along the route. Like last night, I could have gone to the supercharger, but I ended up here. That being said, if I didn't feel comfortable, I had the supercharger, and that's the key, is just knowing your routes and, you know, planning for unexpected, but also not being afraid to just trust the car. And that's what I did yesterday, and I had no concerns. So yeah, hope everyone enjoys it, and you know, this really helps people get confidence in these cars in the future. Take care.